of what we achieved in part one is introduce the whole concept of charts, and that yes, they can look a bit scary even to people who have been studying through the course. When you're first presented with a chart, it is a little bit scary, but you know, we've already started to look and breaking it down, so it's going to become a lot easier as we progress through this lesson. I mean, very quickly. So we've already looked at the repeats at the beginning.
Okay, so I suppose
section.
effectively that's 4 lines there, isn't it, as opposed to 2?
Yes, you could look at it that way, that's right. So we've got up to the end of verse 1 because we've played it twice through the repeat.
Yeah.
There are no other tricky symbols really, so we'll just rattle through. So we've got to bar 6 and then bar 12, which goes straight on through the chorus. Cymbal crash here. You play for 3 bars of groove and then you've got a fill. Now, the students at home can read that fill. That's straight out of lesson 4. You know, quarter note, 2 eighths, 2 eighths. Round the kit, straightforward fill.
Yeah.
Into your cymbal crashes, which you'll be perfectly fluent at now that you've studied lesson 9.
Absolutely.
So we're using all of the skills we've learnt through bars 17 and 18. And then as we go down to the next line, bar 19, then we've got the same fill again. Now, I can tell you that in the music, that fill has absolute relevance because it fits with the phrase that's in the music. So the drummer will be punctuating what the other musicians are playing. Ah. So it's written very clearly, so that is telling you, play this. Okay. So we get to verse 2, and you will notice we've got a repeat sign again. So we don't need to go into great details here. We're just repeating the verse twice. In other words, each of the verses is 12 bars long. A section of 6 bars repeated twice. Mm-hmm. So there's the opening repeat. Where's the closing repeat?
We'll go through it, look for that one.
Yeah, it's actually at the top of the second page here.
Ah, now hang on. If you'd printed this out onto 2 pages...
Yes.
What happens when you've got 3 pages?
Oh, well, you've got 3 pages. You have to stick them together. And what we have on our music stand here, because I'm going to be reading this, is I've got the pages printed out. So they're in a position which are clear for me to read. And you would stick them together so they don't fall off.
Yeah.
And if you had 3 pages, you'd spread it onto your music stand.
What if you've got 6 pages or 8 pages?
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to do page turns. Sometimes if you're doing shows, you need 2 music stands. Often I've used 2 music stands, so my piece of music starts here and finishes here. But I haven't got there isn't a logical place where I can bring my left hand up and turn a page over. So, you know, you have to organise the position of your music according to the piece, according to the circumstances. Again, as I say, I've got my piece of music here. I would use the music stand in front of the drum kit on rare occasions. Mm-hmm. It's ordinarily where I would be playing with a conductor. So the conductor would be over there and I want to look up from my music at the conductor. In most gigging situations, recording situations, I'll have my music here.
Yeah.
And for camera angles and all sorts of reasons, we've decided to go for there. But, you know, there are occasions where I've had to have my music stand here because we're on a stage where the musical director is over there. So, you know, you have to find the most comfortable position for you according to the circumstances.
Yeah, work with it. Whatever the situation presents, adapt yourself to it.
Correct. Absolutely spot on. So, the end of the second verse is denoted by this repeat sign. So we've played here from bar 21, I think it is, yes it is, through to the end of bar 32, brings us into our second chorus. Now our second chorus is identical in length to chorus 1, but instead of those quite simple fills, every 4th bar, we've got more complicated phrasing. 16th note and its phrasing. You'll see here we're dropping these notes down to the floor tom. Now this is a very important point to make here. If you get a chart and there's something a little tricky in it, practice it. Don't wait until you've played 1.5 pages and then make a complete mess because you haven't thought about it. Now, what I would do in these circumstances, I would look at that bar and say, that's a little bit tricky. And for the students at home, this is a brand new phrase. Now, for them, it's just a phrase of a number of ones that I would have played before. So I would just look at that now. I'll just play it on the kit. I'll look at my music here.
Tell us what it should sound like.
Well, I'm going to play bar 35 and 36. To see if I can get it right. So bars groove and then the phrase. I'll play it quite slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a... So that's a phrase almost right out of lesson 8, so we're building on those skills there. But again, those punctuations, those accents there are for a reason, and you'll hear that when we play the music. Now, if I was a student at home, I mean, in a session now, I'd be quite comfortable. I know what I'm doing. If you're a student at home, you might want to learn that phrase so that when you come to play the whole piece, you don't fall over at that bit. That's an incredibly important thing to do. Now, so what I often suggest to my students is, let's just take those 2 bars, let's cycle it on the extractor round and round. In fact, let's just do it now.
We can isolate a particular part and then just practice that with the extractor, yeah?
Yes, precisely.
Magical.
So, magical. Here's the extractor here. So what I'm going to do, end of bar 37, I'd already set the loop up in the break. End of bar 37 there. And then the beginning of the section, I can move this cursor to beginning of bar 35. So we've got a 2-bar loop. So I'll just get that in the right place.
Yeah.
Set the loop in the right place, and we'll hear it. Right. That's quite pacey.
That is very fast.
So when you're practicing a section such as that, drop it down to a comfortable pace and build it up. Let's play it at about 90.
Is it quite a pacey piece?
It's quite
pacey piece.
It is quite a pacey piece. So you're going to have to develop your ability to play quickly and fluently at those tempos. Well, let's just play it at 90. 1, 2, 3, and 4 E. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's pretty comfortable, no problem there. Let's rattle on through the chart if we may, Natalie.
We may, Brian.
Thank you very much. So we're quite comfortable, we understand what we're doing, we've done the repeated verses, we've done the chorus, or played the chorus rather. We've got this phrase at bar 35 and 36, which we've just practiced. We would practice the same thing at bar 39 and 40 because there's another phrase.
Ah, okay.
Okay, for the time constraints that we've got, we'll move on, but the students will have to practice that in exactly the same way until they're comfortable. Then as you move through the lesson, you see here, let me just talk about this final section. At the end of our second chorus here,
that's the end of bar 40.
End of bar 40, there's 2 lines. So there's no repeat.
Hang on, the repeat is the 2 dots, is it?
Correct. So you've got the 2 dots facing inwards or facing outwards in that direction or that direction, according to where it's the end repeat sign or the beginning repeat sign. And what we've got here is two lines. It's called a double bar line. Professional musicians refer to it as like tram lines, which is effectively saying, look, it's an end of a section, but carry straight on. Okay, so we carry straight on through the chorus into verse 3, crash cymbal as usual, straight out of lesson 9, through for our final 6 bars here, bar 41 through to 46. Then we finish the piece with a crash cymbal on beat 1 and a bass drum on beat 1, and that finishes the whole piece.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you breathe a huge sigh of relief. Now, it's written in such a way here as to say, right, you hit it and just let it sustain. Okay. So what I really should do is play the whole thing from top to bottom, I guess.
I want to hear this.
Yes. Me also.
I want you to play this.
Thank you very much.
I want you to play it perfectly.
Well, I'll try my best.
Good.
So I'll put it up to fighting tempo.
120 BPM.
This is quite swift. And see if I can turn around in time and play the piece. I'll be reading from my music over here. So here we go. Wish me luck.
I wish you luck, Brian.
Thank you very much indeed. I'll just take out the backing drums there, so not too loud. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 5th bar. 6th bar, repeating to the beginning. 2nd bar. 3rd bar. 4th. 5th. 6th, which is the 12th. Chorus. 15. Now the fill. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and crash cymbal on my right hand side.
Because that was the closest one to you.
Correct. Second verse. 23. 4. 25. 26, and repeat back to 21. 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, into the chorus. 34, 35, here we go. 38, 39, 40 now. Homeward straight. 43.
You're doing well, Brian.
Keep your concentration up. 45, 46, 2, 3, 4. And we're out.
I wish I had canned applause and cheers and everything and streamers going off, but I don't.
There we go. That's what you'll be able to do when you finish your 10 lessons, part 1.
Fantastic. So, I've watched the lesson. I can take my grade.
You can.
Really?
Absolutely.
What about practice?
Loads of it. You're always going to have to practice, but don't make your practice a burden. Just enjoy yourself, have fun, and progress at your rate.
Okay, Brian, thank you very much. It's been a very insightful 10 lessons.
Thank you very much for having me.